Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. We don't have a name for the podcast yet, just the DigimonCard.dev podcast. Today we have a smaller crew. We have myself,
Coward.
Nighthawk, and Spaghetti. Again, Nighthawk, one of our resident, I actually wouldn't say judge. Nighthawk, could you introduce yourself just a little bit?
Even I don't know what I do.
Yeah, I was drawing a blank on that. It's like, oh
I
sure,
was like,
Nighthawk does
he's a
stuff.
mystery. He just appears here. Um, he plays a lot of in a lot of the tournaments. If I recall, you play a lot of the tournaments, right, Nighthawk?
I used to. I've recently been doing a lot of commentating and support staff.
Okay, gotcha. And then Spaghetti was our casual, avid player who plays Hawkmon
Can we
decks.
come up with something better than that, please?
I mean, I was actually gonna make up stuff, but I think at least for the second day, I'd go with the real things.
All right, cool. Just throw me out there like that.
Yeah.
We have Nighthawk, the fucking madman, carrying this fucking community on his back, and we just have the filthy casual. That's awesome. No,
Casual,
it's great.
avid
It's
Hawkmon player. Yep.
it's great. It's fine. I don't care.
All right. So last night, we actually saw a lot of new things. But before that, I'm still actually setting up here. I don't like nobody's watching right now our live stream because I haven't put the link up. But it is live on Twitch. All right, so last we saw a lot of new things. There was a new card reveal. There's the box toppers, a new keyword, and the starter decks.
And Tesero.
Oh, and welcome, Tesero's here. Everybody's just slowly coming together, waking up. It is. We are all from different time zones here. 7 a.m. Central Time. Tesero, how's your morning?
Oh, tired. I had enough.
I think everybody's a little tired.
Nope.
No, except for Spaghetti.
I drink water.
I need to grab some water. I need to put this link so people can start watching us. Carry it
Tesero, you
away,
see the
Spaghetti.
new stuff?
Yeah, I thought.
What do you think about the box toppers?
They're there.
Yeah, that's what I thought you would say.
All
Out
right.
of what was revealed, what excites you the most if you had to pick one card? Cool, cool.
I'm thinking.
So why'd you wake up so early today, Spaghetti?
uh, my biological clock is just updated, I guess. I've been getting up at like 6:30 in the morning for the past couple of days. It's fine though. I usually get up earlier just to, I don't know. I guess actually because of the reveals, I like talking shit as soon as I can. So I just get up, read them, and go about my morning. Get to all sorts of arguments in the Discord.
Piss people off.
No, people say things that upset me, and so I have to, do the same.
Gotcha.
I think Hercules is the most interesting.
It's because they were just talking about before we started this that the main effects can be activated during either player's turn, right?
No.
They can't?
No,
Because
that's stupid.
there's nothing that specifies that they can't.
Main timings is also has always been your
Uh,
own main phase.
Yeah, it's probably just your own. I'd have to check the actual book or the manual, but
Oh, my bad then.
It's not the first time we've seen it.
Maybe.
Just the first time we've seen it on a Digimon.
But Herc, you say?
technically you're unable to. Was it a Digimon effect or was it like an option effect?
It was on Tamers.
On the touch, on Tamers.
But you
Is
said
it maybe?
Hercules was the one you were most excited about?
That's the one most interesting, I think.
What sets it apart from the other two megas revealed? For you, at least?
he has like a card to directly like compare with. Like I think Hercules has a really has like a interesting dynamic with Restaurantamon. I think Hercules is like a better Restaurantamon in some ways.
I can see it. That's cool.
It needs less.
Less setup, yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where the cards are coming from so I could post them on the screen with better quality. I think I might just have to post what they have. Because I can't find
They
it.
say it was from like the official website.
Okay. Official website, product information. So the official website for the Digimon card game is DigimonCard.com. If you guys weren't familiar. Oh, that's where the cover is coming from as well. And all the fancy art. Ooh, okay. Gotcha. So,
Nighthawk. Same thing. Out of the 3 megas, which one are you most excited about? Or I guess not the 3 megas, it's out of the starter deck cards revealed.
The Where Garurumon stands out to me, being. Oh wait, no, that's still a source effect. Damn it.
Yeah.
Right? I had that same issue.
Garbage.
Yeah, no, I guess the Metal Greymon then, just of when Digivolved effect in black. We just don't have one of those yet.
Yeah,
Like,
I can see it.
On the ultimate level.
And I like how, even though you can give it to something else, like he can still just apply it to himself if it's the only thing you have out, which is nice.
alright,
Can't
slowly
say
getting
I'm
the cards
excited
up here.
Digi-Burst, because I'm not.
I'm indifferent to it. I would have to try it out to see if it's worth.
I don't know how viable it is. I think Crest will be interesting with BT2 Where Garurumon.
Alright, Tesero, imagine this. How viable is Unga Bunga Dex?
Viable?
Digiburst is the perfect keyword for those decks, because they don't care about their sources.
Are we thinking all the colors are gonna get it?
Eventually,
Possibly,
probably.
but like, if red and blue get it, it's going to be a problem.
It's currently...
Do you think...
Who currently has it? Sorry, I haven't read all of the translations yet. Just yet.
Green,
just the 3 new
black,
starters.
and purple.
Okay.
Maybe it's possible that the reason they're shilling Matt and Ty for black and red is so that they don't have to support, or black and purple, that they don't have to support red and blue. So if they want to do Agumon, give Agumon and Garurumon those types of effects, they don't have to give it to those other colors.
Vegan in general can also evolve as fast as Angabunga, so it'll be the biggest test to see if how well these can pay off. He has one of the best Digi-Burst effects too.
Alright, after I get these pictures up, we can talk about what each card does, but keep going, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm looking at the new Tamers, and they're all pretty generic outside of the new Ty.
The black one's nice.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the Ty. I think that's probably the card I'm most excited about.
Let me read that off real quick while we're talking about Ty. So the Ty Tamer card, what it does is on your opponent's turn, if your Digimon is rested by using blocker, by resting this card, one of your Digimon becomes active. So after you block, you basically get another free block.
If that's what you use it for, you can also just untap something else.
Oh, that's true. You can block and then get something else active so it doesn't get shitted on. I didn't even think about
Yeah, I've just been wanting to be able to restand blockers since we've had blockers, so it's exciting for me.
Yeah. Like if the opponent has like 2 guys that they can use to destroy your priority thing that you don't want to die, you can like block one of them, then use Ty to make it active so it doesn't get attacked.
Yeah.
In that odd case where your one priority target doesn't have reboot.
Right. I'm also excited for the rookie, the blocker rookie. Love those. Better Mon is always great.
Well, like even if they have reboot, like white you're facing green.
So many cards. I wasn't expecting this.
There are
You're
quite a few
expecting,
cards
like,
that don't have
2,
reboot.
maybe 3 things, and then you're done.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, we
fine.
got an explosion. 13 cards revealed.
I'll add those to the website and the starter decks. Oh, so last night, actually, kind of off topic, I was able to work the filter on the DigimonCard.dev website. So before you couldn't do like super complicated searches, like, oh, if I wanted to see blue, red, and then I wanted to see both level 4 and level 5 from those selections. But now there's an it's an auto filter instead of the and or, it's at auto. And you can just click all of the things you want and it should just show you what you're trying to see.
Very nice.
Good.
So
Good work.
I would show that right now, but so much cards. I want to show it on the screen.
Yeah. Leave the surprise for them. They can go on the site and be amazed. You don't want to reveal too much. That's why we have Nighthawk's face covered. Even though none of us are in the same room, he doesn't want to reveal it quite yet. Isn't that right, Nighthawk? We've lost
Hold
him.
on, I'm looking at the disc.
Everybody's trying to absorb all of the new cards. So if you guys haven't seen the new cards yet, I mean, they're up on the DigimonCard.com website, but if you join the Digimon TCG 2020 Discord, we have a crack team of translators that are from all over. They speak Japanese. They can, and they do a good job translating. That's where we get most of our translations. A few of them and the team, Ted, also known as Jason Snowjacks from the Facebook.
The lovely
Jason
Snowjacks.
Snowjacks. And then we have Clemens. I forget where Clemens is from. But
Oh, is Clemens on the translation team?
yeah. Clemens is on the translation team.
Oh.
Why?
No reason. Don't worry about it.
Alright. Here's a second set of cards. Clemens and Ted are Japanese speakers.
Clemens is from Australia, as I remembered.
Okay. And then we have Zafy, who makes proxies. I'm also on the translation team to make some of the special proxies. For example, like these cards, the starter deck cards, I'm pretty sure I'll probably make some of those. And then, I feel like I'm missing... Oh, and Tinami. He's also on the translation team. So he takes what Clemens and Ted provides and standardizes them with the rest of the translations that we have. That way, most of the card effects will be familiar. And it's not like, oh, well, how come this one says this and this one says that? But there's the same text in Japanese. But yeah.
Consistency.
It's important. Make sure people aren't confused. Of course, the team makes mistakes, but that happens. You can only make the card effects so clear. Sometimes English is just like that, And then
I wouldn't know. I'm not on the translation team. I'm just a filthy casual, if you recall.
it's
Your
important.
words, not mine.
You're important because you represent one of the many people out there who just play and read the cards, and then the cards aren't clear.
Thanks. They're just the business guys in the suit, like, oh, we bring the normal man in. It's like we test all our. He's an idiot. He doesn't know.
Yeah, you're
We test our products on him.
You remind me of the news, on the news people a few years ago. It was like the Joe the plumber guy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm glad to be a part of something, I guess.
do you know how to read Japanese?
Fucking yeah. Obviously.
Here's that segment of Digimon players, which is almost a majority who don't know how to read the Japanese cards. And we just have to rely on, the translators.
Alright, what's the next topic? We don't need you lording over your ability to fucking read.
I don't know how to read it. I can, it doesn't matter if I could...
So you're exposed.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if I could read, this says Agumon, but, if this said something else, I'm like, okay, that doesn't mean anything. I'm just
so
reading it out loud.
So it doesn't matter if I can read. What is happening here?
Alright, let's move on. I don't remember what I was going off of there.
That's fine.
Let's see. Numon says the starter deck numbers, megas, are 13, and tamers are 14. That means there are 2 to 12 Digimon, and that's more from the first starter decks. Let's go to the website, because I don't remember what's there. DigimonCard.dev, let's look at the starter decks. The starter deck, we have the Digi-Egg at the first number, and then from ST2 or 02 until 11 is our last mega. So that does mean that we have 2 more Digimon compared to the first 3 starter decks. Oh, okay.
So maybe we'll get a vanilla mega, a 3-cost mega, and then the 4-cost?
People were asking for the memory Digimon. The memory borrow Digimon.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they could try to fit that? I don't know. That feels out of place, especially in green, since they already have one. But maybe purple and black. I don't know. That's just a guess.
What would they be? Something silly, I hope.
Yeah, because the other ones, they were just who did we get? Actually, Where, Garu, and the blue one,
Metal
right?
Gray.
And Metal Gray.
Yeah.
So they're the popular Digimon, except for Digitamamon.
I don't know. Shocked about it. I love Digitamamon.
Numon says could also be extra level 3, 4, 5 as 2 O's. Okay.
He could come in here and say that if he's so invested in this in this topic.
Yeah, he's chatting right now. I think everybody agrees that the card art is on point, just like all the other cards have been.
Oh yeah, I love the Tentomon drinking the protein shake and the Terryman lifting weights.
What? That's what it is? Oh my god. I haven't even been able to look at it that well yet.
Terryman lifting weight. Another Digimon World 1 reference, I think.
It's so cool.
Let me pull it up here in the front. Oh, it's the weight training? Is that what it is? Nice. He is super buff. If you've seen the latest reboot anime, he's just super buff. They've made all of the Digimon go to the gym. Actually.
I'm kind of mad Togemon doesn't just have a 6-pack.
Okay. Now that I have the pictures on the screen, let's go through, or at least I'll say all the effects for everybody since we don't have the English proxies yet. Okay, so Izzy, let's start with the green. That's what I have up. Hey Ark, good morning. Your turn. If your opponent's Digimon is rested, by resting this card, get +1 memory. So this is kind of like Green's version of the Matte starter deck tamer, right? It's just a passive if you have a resting, or if you have something and I get the memory. In blue, it was if you have a Digimon with no sources, I get memory. For green, this makes much more sense. I mean, I could see people playing this as soon as the proxy is out. Just play it.
Oh yeah, especially since more and more green is getting effects that allow them to res Digimon. This will be great in conjunction with Hercules and Charismon.
Definitely this. Who am I playing now? I'm playing the other Izzy now, I think. Definitely would go. In some of my decks, I'm playing the Izzy. But I think now that's also been replaced by the Ken and the Davis, right? To fix the hand or get memory from attacking.
You actually run the Davis?
I do run Davis in the green.
How's that been working for you?
I think it's great because there, that off chance that you don't get the rookie, even though you have like a shit ton of rookies already in your deck, you're able to fix your hand. You get that chance. I know we already have Wormon as well to fix the hand, but that just gets you a lot faster.
I can see it. I have not tested Davis and Green, but I actually have not played Green at all since BT3.
You've been hot on that other stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Fabsy in the chat says we need Mamio.
We do. Why was he not the tamer in this set?
That would have been cool.
Set 2 gave us this false hope that they'd like.
Yeah, they just teased us with that.
All right, next.
Better luck next set.
Better luck next set. I mean, it's gonna come, right? Maybe it's a promo. Maybe it's a promo card.
Maybe.
Okay, so that was Izzy. Let's go to Tentomon. When played, reveal one card from the top of your deck. If that card is a green Digimon card, add it to your hand. Put the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So it's a 3-cost Palmon, except no level restriction, just color.
I know you search the top one. It reminds me a lot of the blue BT1 Gabumon. It just on a bit of a lottery, I guess. But if you're running a ton of Digimon, this is not missing too often. So for the most part, it's going to be very similar to BT1 Gabumon.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
He has got a bit more DP than BT1 Gabumon to, I guess, make up for the fact that he doesn't guarantee the draw.
2000 DP. It's I want to see the rest of the starter deck, just to play against the other starter decks, but it brings something else to the table here.
I like how he's got isn't that the same effect as the Izzy Tamer card in BT?
Yes, it is.
BT1, yep.
Yes.
So I like how that's
requiring
the
that
thing.
level 5 or higher.
Yeah.
Fabsy says, is Penguinmon doing curling? Yes, he is doing curling in the option card we got the other day. That was the option card, right?
Penguinmon himself.
In the back of, shoot, which card was that? On Penguinmon, yeah.
Yeah, on Penguinmon. It's another Digimon World 1 reference.
Alright.
It was a mini game in Digimon World 1.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
Actually,
that
kind of
mini-game.
hard
It's
to
been
get a
while.
perfect score on it too.
They've been feeding us so many Digimon World 1 references.
Yeah, it's great. I think everybody's nostalgic and everybody wants to play. I wonder if they're gonna do a remake. That'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
The green starter reveals are all Digimon World 1 references right this time around.
So let me move on to the next card while you guys are talking about that. A Terryman blocker when attacking, memory -2. So it's just the same blocker as the starter deck blockers, except the stats are different. 6-1, 5,000.
Yeah. This is really interesting, because typically a lot of decks have run the 4 blockers alongside the 8 other champions.
Mm-hmm.
And this allows you to swap Widowmon out for another 1-cost Evo and have your entire Evo line, or your entire champion line, be 1-cost Evos. And I think that's going to be really cool for green.
Totally agree with you there. Make you go faster, getting tall faster. The exchange here is the normal blockers are 5 costs, I believe. Now this is going to be 6 costs.
This is becoming even more crippling for green to be breaking on their rookies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's super true.
Yeah.
But I guess
Between this, Stingmon, and Kabu.
that's why you have these searcher cards to help you fix the deck. But yeah, it's so painful when you're breaking green. And hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our podcast. We're just talking about the new cards here that were revealed this morning. Alright, next card, Hercules Kabuterimon. It has piercing, and on the main, Digi-Burst 2, rest one of your opponent's Digimon. So Digi-Burst 2 is a new keyword that they revealed. The helper text for Digi-Burst is Digi-Burst X, discard X cards from this Digimon sources. Yep.
Yep.
So
You note that it's main timing, so you can only use it during your own turn, and not in the middle of any other action.
And then I'm gonna assume that the way that it's written is you Digi-Burst 2. If you do that, then you rest one of your opponent's Digimon, and it's not Digi-Burst 2 effect separately from rest one of your opponent's Digimon. I wonder how that's gonna be ruled. What do you guys think?
I think that's all part of one effect. You did Digi-Burst 2, and that's your cost / activation cost for doing the rest of one of your opponent's Digimon.
Otherwise, you'd be able to do the rest without the discarding, right? So.
Yeah. Until further notice, we'll play it as if you have to discard the sources.
Okay. Otherwise,
you defeat the purpose of the keyword.
I mean, the keyword could just be there to give a disadvantage. But it makes sense that it would be a requirement. But just the way we've seen the other card effects, usually it's just
These Digi-Burst effects are pretty unique. This is the first time we've seen main effect timing on a Digimon, which is pretty exciting to me, I think. This really opens up the design space of what the kind of effects it can have in the future. And I really like Hercules Terryman in general. I feel like he might be like a better Rest Tyrannomon in certain ways because of him requiring less setup, especially in ways that like matter in terms of paying memory. Rest Tyranno requires you to invest memory into a tamer before you're able to use his effect that attacks actives. This one, you just discard evil sources, and then you can rest something to attack over with Hercules, and who innately has piercing.
right.
And besides just innately having piercing, he also has a 1k more DP than Rust Tyranno. Also really nice.
This really buries that green, or the Hercules Carboteriumon we got in the other set, BT1, who's already not being used. But, so it's 12,000, and as you were saying, it's better than Rusty. Well, Rust Tyrannomon's effect lasts the whole game, right? As long as you have the tamer. This one, you only have 2 chances, at least right now. There's no way to replenish your sources.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's only if you above all from Tama.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the weakness of it compared to Rust Tyrannomon. But I feel like in greens particularly, it's a lot more consistent and less costly compared to Rusty.
That's
and
right.
You'll run out, but like at that point, I think you've already done enough damage.
Yeah, you've done your damage. Plus, being 12,000 versus the 11,000 at Rusty that's already a good separator. I think I'd easily pay 4 to try this Digimon out.
I'm not particularly comfortable with the Digi-Burst cost in green, as green have a lot of evolution source effects on the cheap.
That's true.
So I was just thinking about that. Remember how yesterday when we were talking about Giromon, how it's just like, why do we have these level 5 with abilities that rookies have? Well, don't we for Burst we discard the bottom 2?
You choose actually.
It doesn't say bottom 2. It just says discard 2.
It says discard 2. It doesn't have a location.
It was discussed earlier in the chat, and I do believe that Ted confirmed that you choose which source you can discard. Okay. So you can just discard your worst sources.
Which are the vanillas.
Right, if you have vanillas.
Well,
alright,
there
sweet.
goes that.
That means you do have to be careful on which ones you take. As much as possible, you want to take the level 3 last. Just because of the Digivolve edge case. I don't know if it'll come up a lot, but don't forget.
I want to throw Rust Tyrannomon a bit of a bone and say that the new Izzy Tamer does work really well with him.
New Izzy
Yeah.
Tamer.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
Like Rust innately has a rest an opponent's Digimon when winning a battle, which will fire off that Izzy just as well as the Hercules Terrymon.
Okay.
And you get to keep
True.
all your source effects.
It's true, but it's typically harder to actually make use of that effect outside of triggering Izzy, of course. That always felt like the most strange part of his effect. The fact that he rests something after he destroys something.
It's helpful for having other things on board like Dino Beamon to run something over.
Right. But that's like something like you need to have an additional setup to make use of. You need to have set up that additional, Dino Beamon or whatever else to run over what you just rested.
Yeah, this is exciting. I'm excited for the green starter deck. And I did pre-order some of the starter decks already. We have them incoming when they get released. The first Digi-Rumble tournament that we played maybe like last month already, the prizes were the starter decks. And I believe, I'm gonna double check here. Do you guys remember all of the winners?
Yeah, Tesero won the black one.
Tesero got second place. Is that right?
I think. Did I get second? I think I got third.
Oh,
Yeah,
here
I
we
think
go.
you
It's
got
right on the
third.
website. Hong got first, and Hong chose the green, get the green starter. True Champion
Yeah,
Steven
Hong
got
chose
second, getting the purple deck, and Tesero got third, getting the black deck. Nighthawk getting fourth place, and he got the promo pack.
The lovely promo pack.
Lovely promo pack. So there we go. Now we know what Nighthawk does. He placed in our tournament.
Yeah, he did it.
And then he mentioned he
memed
does help
around
as
for-
well. All right, sweet. I want these cards. All right, next, let's talk about the next set of cards. I do have the black set up. So that is Tai. We kind of talked about him earlier already. Opponent's turn. If your Digimon is rested by using blocker, by resting this card, one of your Digimon becomes active.
Right. Effect. This is an effect that I predicted would be like on a level 6. So it's
Not
crazy.
a 2-cost tamer.
Yeah, for a 2-cost tamer.
It's going to be on
So
the
cool.
field, and we already have a ton of blockers in black. Easily proc this effect.
Right. Having any of your blockers being able to block twice just means that this card is just pay to memory, get another blocker, which is very nice, very good effect.
That's just like Craniumon saying, nope, not again. Because just yesterday I was playing Craniumon, or against Craniumon, with another Craniumon, and purple versus Craniumon. Oh my god. The black deck just locks it down so hard, and just adding this tie really crushes some of the other strategies against black.
You can't do anything as purple once Craniumon hits the board.
Yep. I
Not
would have
looking
just
for
given up, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the way out.
Yeah, I mean, your way out's probably Millennium, unless
Yeah.
I'm misforgetting how Craniumon works.
Nope,
It
it's
should,
Mullen.
yeah, Millennium works unless they play Power of Breath.
But like the thing is, with the current purple meta, the Millennium, you don't run a lot of Millenniums, at least.
I
Might
do.
start needing to.
I always like playing Millennium, but like I'm biased against it, or towards it. I always really like him as a card in general. I always thought he was really good. Purple, it feels like based on reveals, it's going to lean more towards potentially, actually building up a stack, which could help its case, as it might be able to get up to Millennium more consistently, potentially at least. So that might be a way for Purple to combat against Craniumon.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. Versus the early purple meta, which is you get a lot of Digimon back that are rookies to get the effects.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what other rookies are revealed, because part of what Purple's game plan being that way is because Purple's rookies really wanted you to sacrifice them to either pay for effects or into security, because they have the when destroyed effects.
Mhm.
So that really incentivize you to lose those rookies rather than evolve them up. So maybe we might get some new rookies that aren't as leaning towards that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Agumon here, the card, it's just blocker. It's just a plain 3/0 blocker. The good thing about this blocker versus the Gotsumon blocker is this one doesn't have a pay cost to attack. And then just like Spaghetti said, it's similar to Mon.
Mon. It costs 1 less both to evolve and to play than Mon.
So great.
That makes sense because he's in black, by color of blockers. Initially, my thoughts on Agumon was that he doesn't seem to be playable over Gotsumon because I always thought that the -2 memory on attack for blockers was never really like a huge downside for them, because with a blocker you're typically not wanting to attack unless you're attacking from game, in which case the memory cost tends to be irrelevant.
Right.
But the nice thing about Agumon, which I'm not certain if it's going to be super relevant, but I guess it allows you to have him be a bit more of a sacrificial pawn earlier into the game. So if you wanted to like push for damage earlier and just ram him in prior to having lethal, that's an option with the Agumon, which Gotsumon you probably wouldn't want to do.
I wonder if the Digitama in the starter deck will revolve around having blocker.
It'd be nice.
I can see that.
Then the Agumon would have that effect, right? Whatever that effect could be.
Mm-hmm.
If it's drawing cards, that would be nice.
Either way, what I was referring to is still feels kind of like a fringe case, so I can still see people playing Godsumon over Agumon.
Okay. Alright, the next card, Metal Grey Mon. When Digivolved, one of your Digimon gets blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. Trying to think of a similar card that we have already that gives something. I think I'm thinking of like the Birdramon one played, but that's not even the same because that one gives security attack +1.
There's like Kentarismon, I think.
That gives an ability? I think Leopardmon gives jamming, right?
Yeah, but it's a static ability.
Like,
this is like when did you out and like until end of turn.
Yeah, I think somebody just mentioned it a second ago. It's just like the Garudamon from the starter deck.
Right. Yeah, it's a very similar trigger. It's when Digivolve, and it's a very similar, like, very temporary effect that you can even use it to apply it onto itself.
Yep. Of course, the difference here, well, it's blocker and it lasts till the end of the opponent's turn.
Right.
Okay, interesting.
If you could replace Andromons as being the better stepping stone into your blocker megas.
Not necessarily.
It's the same
It depends on the build.
It's cheaper.
If you're playing Caress, with Caress you'd rather pull out an Andromon versus this card.
That's true. So it's 6 cost, 3 to evolve, 7,000 DP. You can give itself blocker or something else blocker to activate that. I don't know, right now the only effect that you would activate would be Craniumon, right? And I guess Atomic Ray and Security. Alright. Musketeer says, why would you want Andromon instead of this?
I think I already mentioned. Well,
Okay.
for one, Andromon
He's
always
always a
has blocker. It's not like an until end of turn blocker. And the second of all reason would be if you're playing Kresgarurumon and you're pulling from getting a free level 5 from the top of your deck, you'd rather be getting Andromon, who has blocker, over this, which will not trigger its effect if you're playing it for free with Kresgarurumon's effect.
Right, gotcha. Alright, sorry. Yeah, you did just mention that. Okay, next card, Blitz Grey Mon. Security attack +1. Okay. And main, Digi-Burst 2, one of your Digimon gets plus 4000 DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. So, alright, you have the cost of paying 2 from your sources, and then you boost somebody as a blocker. Or even just as a beater. That's
Yeah, no, Blitz is probably, of the three of them, standing out as being one of the best of the 3 revealed starter deck megas.
Really? I feel like that goes to Hercules. I feel like his effect is one of the most, or Bliss is one of his effect is one of the most boring, but it's like one of the more flexible ones. Because you can use it both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, to me, Blitz stands out for the plus 4k being during both players' turns. Means you can swing over an Omnimon, bringing him up to 16. And when he swings into security, he's pretty much immune to everything, outside of like option effects being thrown around.
right. 16,000 is pretty large, and if for some reason you also have the Craniumon, it's basically invincible at that point.
Well, he doesn't have blocker, so he doesn't get affected by Craniumon.
Okay.
We
Does
can
he
give him
Digimon?
blocker using Metal Greymon's effect.
Yeah. A lot of memory you work with if you do have it, but
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a significant boost. You can use it, we talked about earlier, at least twice with a Digiburst cost of 2. And its main, that also means this could be repeated any number of times during your main phase.
Well, realistically, you're not using this more than twice, considering
Right.
you discard 2 sources. So, since there's no way to regain sources, you're using it twice, and then you can't use it anymore.
I mean, you could boost, like, you wouldn't necessarily be boosting yourself. You could boost somebody else on your team that's like a tiny Digimon if you needed to get across. That's the scenario I was thinking.
Yeah, it's pretty relevant.
It's, you probably won't be doing it a lot to do, like, both of it at the same time, but similarly for the Hercules Terryman, you can also do it twice the same turn. So that'll be interesting if there is a ruling on that. But at least the way I'm reading it is because it's main, you could just do it as long as you can pay the cost.
Yeah. Blitz has like a lot of.
Wait, say again, Nighthawk. I don't know if you got cut off there or if it was just a short statement.
It was just Blitz has a lot of different ways you can use him, and Herc just doesn't have as many.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like it has that many more ways. Like, you use it to get big, and then you can just, like, attack security or attack a big dude like Omnimon. Or you could just have it be too big to be attacked. I feel like Hercules is something that more directly allows you to disrupt your opponent's game plan.
Yep, that turn, since you can rest and then start killing things. The one thing, so it obviously requires setup right now. So you have Blitz, and then you attack with it, and then at the end of the turn, if you already have the tie, you Digivolve onto... Actually, no, the tie only works on the opponent's turn. I was thinking of something else, because I was thinking of restanding him somehow, and then giving him blocker. That sounds really complicated. Never mind.
Yeah, no. If Ty could work on your own turn, that would be some like insane shenanigans.
Okay, let's go on to the next, to the purple cards, unless you guys had more comments on the black cards.
Nah.
Alright,
No, black is pretty straightforward.
As
okay.
usual.
Let me bring up the cards here on the screen.
I mean, the purple this time around wasn't like anything super shocking that we'd never seen before.
All right, here we go. Let's start with Matt. Matt, both players' turn. If your Digimon is destroyed by resting this card, +1 memory. So it's like your Mallow, except only 2 cost.
I feel like it's more comparable to the Garurumon Inheritable. And this is a lot nicer because you're not forced to evolve up first to get the effect. You just pay the 2 memory and then it's just always there.
Okay.
And what's really nice about this, and like the same thing with Izzy, is that them being 2 cost means they're cheap enough that you are realistically able to have them pay for themselves, and then from there on you can get value.
Agreed. It's a 2 cost, so all of these, it looks like all of the starter deck tamers are 2 cost, and I think everybody predicted that already. Next,
I feel like even Matt might be even better than Izzy because resting your opponent's Digimon usually requires you to like use an effect of some sort, like some kind of setup, some kind of like flower cannon or an effect of a Digimon like Karasmon or her case Terryman, which is some sort of like specific setup you need to do first. But like having your own Digimon destroyed in purple is just like that's just happening every turn, all the time. That's like your entire game plan.
oh, and just real quick, I wanna
He
clarify.
doesn't even ask for purple. He just says if your Digimon is destroyed. So you can throw those mats in just about any color you feel like.
That's also true. Just when you wanna just get the security away. Before we continue, the Izzy card, just wanna clarify. If your opponent's Digimon is rested, so this is we've
That's
seen
your
this
turn timing
before. It's your turn. The reading of this is when that Digimon becomes rested. That's the reading of this instead of if there's a rested Digimon. I just wanted to clarify that.
Oh wait, did you misread that at first?
No, I didn't misread it. It's just if you read it, if your opponent's Digimon is rested, that could be read both ways with the language that they posted.
Right, yeah, so it's if your opponent's Digimon becomes rested.
It becomes rested. Okay, let's go back to the purple cards. Gabumon, when attacking, drop +1, discard 1 from your hand. So this is like the Demi-Mera effect, except on... Actually,
when
no,
attacking.
it's just like it, right?
It's just like it, but it's when attacking instead of when destroyed, which I think it helps support going a strategy for going tall as opposed to immediately losing your Digimon.
Okay.
Because, when attacking, if you want to make use of that more than once, you definitely want to be, going up to something big enough to survive the security check.
Definitely be able to proc it more and mill your cards.
You're only expecting to have it work once, then BT2 Gabumon is definitely going to be superior because that's the draw 2 and then discard 1. But that's when destroyed as opposed to when attacking. So this one has the potential of being reused if you have a Digimon that swings, survives, and then gets to swing again. So this is definitely a step towards purple potentially going for a more of a go tall strategy.
Totally agree with that. This gives me the feeling of when I switched in the Demi-Meramon from set 3 versus the Pagumons that everyone used to run, and sometimes I was actually missing the mill because the Digimon is actually surviving and not dying at security. But alright, here's where Garu, this is one of the art that was revealed in the magazine. Your turn, inheritable. If you have 5 or more cards in your trash, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. So potentially 9,000 DP purple card, 7 cost, 3 Evo. That's
I think it's. I don't think it stacks. I think it's just if you have 5 or more, it's 2,000 TP.
Yeah, and it's evolution source, so it's still
Right,
only
right.
7 by himself.
But I
Yeah, it's an
mean,
Elo.
we could just say that this effect is active because 5 in trash isn't even that much.
Oh yeah, especially for purple. I think it's just a bigger Yaman. I think at this point. That being said, I'm not too impressed. I guess purple might want extra DP for a go tall strategy, but I don't know. Lately I've been feeling that inheritables on level 4s and 5s might not be all too worth it because of how slow they are. You have to evolve up even higher before you get to the chance to be able to utilize that effect.
Okay, and I
And-
guess go ahead.
And they cost more versus like a vanilla that does not have an inheritable.
It is 7 cost. The only cheaper one in purple right now is the Myotismon at 6 cost. And the
Yeah, it's
ultimate.
3 to evolve. So I compare that to Myotismon, who does not have the inheritable and just costs 2 to evolve. Is it worth paying that 1 extra to have that inheritable?
Okay.
And you're not even right away, not until you get to level 6. It's inheritable effects on level 5s just feel really, really slow.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I prefer cheaper. I really like ultimates that do something.
I think, for a starter deck, this probably fits just well to,
Yeah, it's Scream starter deck card.
You're going against, the comparables are the Garudamon in red. Oh man, I don't even remember what they have in blue. Zudomon, right? Is that the one Digivolve Zudomon? Discard
Starter
2?
deck one.
Yeah.
You'd be comparing this to the other ones with inheritable effects, so like Metal Greymon in starter deck, and Magna Angemon in starter
Okay,
deck,
gotcha.
and the other were Guru.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Crest Garurumon. Security attack +1. Digi-Burst 2. Play 1. Level 3 question mark? I guess the card might not be clear for the translation team, but play 1 purple Digimon from your trash without paying its cost.
This is very nice in my opinion.
I'm surprised that it's not clear. Let me see if I can have a look. I mean, they've had a better look now, but... go ahead, you were saying you think this is the better card?
I think this is really interesting. I think this has potential. So as opposed to the starter deck Wergurumon, the BT2 Wergurumon, with this on top of it, that I see some potential in. I think there has been some experimentation before with that Wergurumon on top of Venom Iotismon, since there's also a 12k security attack +1. So you would attack, sacrifice a Digimon to restand it, and then attack again for the four security checks. And Chris Garurumon is also a security attack +1, so you could also do that with this one. But this guy can also, Chris Garurumon can feed its own Garurumon source effect by using its Digi-Burst.
Yeah,
So you don't have to
the
like.
rookie that's underneath it.
Yeah, you just discard the rookie and Tom underneath it to bring back a rookie from your trash to feed into the Garurumon inheritable. So that way you don't have to pay extra memory to get that restand and get those 4 checks for like a very efficient cost. The only issue that is that you're relying on a 3 Evo cost level 5 and then into a 4 Evo cost level 6, which is a lot of memory for one guy, very susceptible to removal.
Okay.
But certainly something to consider as a sort of a win con for your win con purple deck.
Numumon says, I wish Blitz had Digi-Burst to de-Digivolve stuff.
That would be great.
Oh gosh.
You could probably see that sometime in the future. That sounds like a thing that would happen.
I imagine
Watch it be Machine Dramon.
people were hoping Machine Dramon to be in the black set because of the title. I guess it could be the vanilla.
Yeah, you could still be in there some way.
Yeah, if the extra card's a mega, he could be in there too. Just doing something cool or not.
Numamon says play effects works on Cress.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Purple doesn't have that many, especially not in level 3.
Yeah.
There's basically just
The
Pico Devimon.
Yeah.
But who knows? We still have like seen 0 rookies from BT3.
That's right.
There could be something really nice in there to work together with Kreskarurumon.
Yeah, I've already Kreskarurumon is already looking like a pretty solid card, as I did the same Wergarurumon combo but with Venom Myotismon, and deleting 4 security from your opponent in one fell swoop is insane amounts of tempo. Like they just like look pretty dumbfounded when you slam them with that hit.
Okay, we got a lot of cards here on the screen. Might be too much information. I should start turning stuff off. But I did put the last card up. This is the blue card of the day that was revealed, that I think nobody really is talking about because all the other nice stuff that we have. Desperado Blaster. Main, discard 2 Digivolution sources from the bottom of all of your opponent's Digimon. If you have a green Digimon, rest one of your opponent's Digimon without Digivolution sources. So this is a blue-green, hybrid type of option, I think.
Yeah.
This is the first option we've seen that relies on 2 colors. Is that right?
I think so.
If you believe so.
And it does have a security effect. Activate this card's main effect. This is strong. This is a strong card in the Joe deck, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know. I feel like this is the weakest of today's reveals. It's too
In the
restrictive.
blue
I want to
Joe
say.
deck, you're discarding 2 from each Digimon on the field.
Yeah, but is that discarding Evo sources isn't always like an inherently like
Beneficial thing.
beneficial thing, because it doesn't actually affect like the number of people on the board. It might might turn off an important inheritable that the opponent might really want, or you might be able to like turn off Digi-Burst effects. That might be like the best case scenario there.
I mean,
But that's usually like single target source removal, which you'd rather have, because it's not often if your opponent is going wide, each opponent's Digimon has like 1 source or less. Usually maybe like not sources at all because they've hard casted everything else besides like their 1 dude. So removing 2 from like everything doesn't seem very relevant.
I think this card guarantees, like if you weren't able to source strip early on, this will guarantee that your effects are active on your turn for that blue, that blue deck that relies on source stripping.
What was that card? Howling Crusher from Booster Set 1.
Yeah, it is fit like
Howling
crushing.
Crusher hitting all of them is not as... It was just too expensive
Yeah, that one's 7
to hit
cost.
all of them versus the 3 cost for Desperado. You might get to rest something if you're playing the hybrid, and it's start looking like it's gonna start being relevant going into Digi-Burst as like a meta-defining.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing I see with it is the punishing Digi-Burst.
I think there's just better ways to do source removal. I think if you want to remove sources, you're going to be using the inheritable when attacking effects, especially if your goal is to just to have something be sourceless to activate like Vikemon or Wergarurumon effects, stuff like that. You don't need to strip everything. You only need to strip 1 dude
Okay.
until it has nothing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not even looking at the resting part of this card, just the stripping. I don't know if this will actually play because nobody plays a lot of the Digimon cards that aren't blockable if there's no sources. So you could strip the blocker sources, run through the black deck normally without having to worry. I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but
If they had higher DP, maybe.
Yeah, the weakness of that, if those Digimon is that they have kind of low DP, so sure you go past their blockers, but then you're
Good luck.
contending with good luck surviving security.
that's
I mean, I
true.
guess they're high enough to survive most things, but
That's going to be the Metal Digimon and the Mega Digimon, yeah.
yeah, Mega Digimon might be the best one of those, just because it just is slightly above its level's DP level. So, like, you weren't expecting it to survive against Megas anyway, but it's a good chance of surviving against other level 5s.
Okay.
My biggest gripe with this card is that it's got Pyildramon on it, and it is nothing for Imperial Dramon.
Yeah. Yeah, that does feel pretty sad that Pyildramon, being the only Dragras from the O2 crew that isn't dual colored, so...
Gets
and
the
this
dual
card
colored.
really wants you to it. It's like the first option to want you to have both colors on the board. Like, why?
Like Ken.
Why did they do this? Yeah, I think they really
Play
want
Ken
you to
in blue and
play.
Davis in green, and you're
Well,
like,
playing Ken doesn't do it because you specifically requires a green Digimon on board for you to get the rest effect.
So,
I know, right? It's so awkward.
a
What are
different...
you doing? Like splashing Wormmons in your blue deck?
Yeah, totally. That's the solution.
A different effect you could be going for here is in the Shakumon deck, Source Strip, then Digivolve, or already have the Shakumon? Or is that a when Digivolve effect?
Shakumon's
yeah.
just constant.
Shakumon's constant. So I can see this being used against used in conjunction with Shakumon slightly.
It'll
Does
activate
Shakumon
it.
go up in value with Digi-Burst? Probably, yeah.
It's something that the opponent would have to consider now before using Digi-Burst.
It's a really interesting dynamic. Digi-Burst, using it feels bad against blue because of both blue stripping away your sources before you get to Digi-Burst and or having effects taking place when you have no sources like Shakumon, but against black and in some decks red. It's nice having Digi-Burst against strategies that utilize de-Digivolve because you can get rid of your sources before.
Yeah, keep yourself safe.
Yeah, it makes it so that de-Digivolve does nothing against you if you removed all of your sources.
Alright, so
I
we...
wonder if people would be more hype about source stripping if Digi-Burst came out before source stripping.
Yeah.
it's just evolution source stripping hasn't been worth it because of all the vanilla sources running around, so you had to like have a reason to do it yourself. But being able to deny an effect because your evolution source stripping puts Joe, like the Joe.deck, like up a notch as like a viable strategy.
And I'm sure as the game progresses, we'll get lower level Digimon with like Digi-Burst 1 and things like that.
That's true.
Potentially.
So, we are getting close here. We are at 8:04 a.m. Central Time, going close to the end of our podcast. I did bring up the Security Digimon back on the screen. I know we've all seen the cards, at least the card effects. But if you look closely now, I haven't been able to check it out. They have that little security symbol in the background. I think that's a cool touch to the Security Digimon Box Topper art.
Can you decipher what rarity those cards are?
They should be exactly the same rarity.
Yeah, what's their original rarity?
They're, give me 1 second here. I want to say they're uncommon.
Not terrible yet.
Gururumon is an uncommon card.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
so you're getting extra copies of uncommons for free as your box topper. Nothing to be upset about.
Yep, and then assuming that they stick to the same rarity distribution in the English set and just double everything, you know, the uncommons are just as rare as rares. So it's not a bad pull to get these extra uncommons.
Like, especially if you're buying smaller amounts of product, like you're looking at maybe like 2 boxes, you're gonna be struggling to get sets of those uncommons and rares. In some uncommons will even elude you and you won't pull any of them.
And I know that the security Digimon might look... I know a lot of people don't like the security Digimon, but
I've come around on them. I love them. They're funny.
Don't be hating.
yeah, they
If
have
you've never played
don't
Purple
underestimate
Grizzly
them.
Wing, you don't know what you're missing out on.
they
Test
have
them
their
immediately.
they
Don't
have their
underestimate
space.
them.
Yep.
Their biggest downside is that in some colors they're just better level 4s to play. But if your color lacks like 1 cost evos, or they lack really good level 4 inheritables or level 4 effect monsters, then there's less of a reason not to play Security Digimon.
Yeah, look at this. They're more like things that you would want to discard with Digi-Burst.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Wow,
Synergy.
what a great effect.
If you're red, then you'd probably rather be playing like Grey Mon, Star Grey Mon, or Dark Tyrannomon, or the blocker. But if like you're yellow, you don't have like the equivalent of either of those two, so you might as well be playing Ankylomon.
Although, if you're yellow, the amount of times that your opponent's going to let you play a Security Digimon is not as much.
It'll definitely be interesting. I'm happy we got these cards. So now I have 1 hour left to maybe turn some of these cards into English cards, put them on the website, or just keep them as Japanese and put them up so people can play with them. DigimonCard.dev, you can go ahead and build assemble decks, and then join the Digimon TCG 2020 Discord. The links are on the website as well. So hit one of those, hit us on Facebook, whichever one, you can find us there. And this is me, Orangeswim, and we've had on our podcast today Spaghetti, Nighthawk, and Tesero. I don't believe we had any other guests show up. Did I miss anybody, guys?
Baby Gaia in our hearts.
Gaia is in our chat. Do you guys want to plug anything right now before we head off?
Drink water.
Maybe. Yeah. Stay safe over the weekend. Don't get up to any mischief. We may be back tomorrow and Sunday with more stuff, depending on how Bandai decides to grace us.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Right now, we're not planning to do a morning podcast on Saturday or Sunday. We will be back on the podcast 7 a.m. on Monday Central Time.
Although, if we do a podcast tomorrow, we could probably push it back a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a live stream or something.
Yeah, Saturday people are going to probably be sleeping in, so don't feel like you have to wake up extra early if looking out for the DigiCast podcast.
Yep. Just if you
Like
follow,
someone's doing that now.
if you follow the channel, then you'll be able to catch us. I do also stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Central Time. Let me put the end scene here while we're just chit-chatting.
We don't have fans.
And we do
what
have
do you think this is?
we have followers right now, and we do have some people who's talked at least the Discord that we're looking forward to our talks. So
Why?
If you keep following us, we'll have shirts.
No shirts.
lastly,
If we get big enough, you have to send us shirts. How about that?
one more thing before we end the podcast. Sorry about that. Newman pointed out that they did put an official mat for the English on the English website, noting the game flow, and we now have the names for all of the phases in the English, and it's unsuspend phase, draw
Please be
phase,
good.
breeding phase, and main phase.
Yes.
So they didn't change the other two, which would have been really weird if they did, because they're already straightforward. But that's going to be the
Okay.
official phases.
We breeding, boys. We did it.
That's official phases in the U.S. The U.S. products. All right, and I don't want to prolong already. We are 1 hour 7 minutes. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you all on Monday. Bye.
Man.